race morning nutrition. Did a few other topics about nutrition. You can always go back and watch the videos. But race morning nutrition is going to be kind of the deciding factor for your day. If you wake up and don't have anything for breakfast and then go to a race, if you can get away with it, probably for a sprint, 5K, something like that, 10K, half marathon, full marathon, Olympic distance triathlon, half Ironman, a full Ironman, even more. You're not going to get away without doing a proper breakfast before your race. It will set you up as far as getting more calories in your stomach to start processing, because you've only got so much when you wake up in the morning, especially in the morning. Your body, all the functions are still working at night, it's not as demanding as usual, but you will be a little bit depleted on what's available in your system. You know, depending on who you talk to, it could be around 2,000 calories of available storage energy just in your bloodstream, in your liver, readily available in glycogen storage. But, you know, I'm no dietitian, but everything that I've read, all the research, everybody I've listened to, all the clinics I've gone to, about at any point in time, about 2,000 calories. So you're going to expend that very easily over an Olympic distance triathlon. You'll expend most of it. Half Ironman, you will for sure. Full Ironman, you'll definitely go way past that. So what you can do is set yourself up by having a good breakfast race morning and doing a little bit of prep as you get closer to the race to make sure, because especially in triathlon, you know, you're going to be out there swimming. It could be half hour, it could be hour, it could be an hour and a half, 2 hours, you know, full Ironman race. If you're out there for a long period of time without any available nutrition, because usually races don't have a breakfast bar that you can just pull up to and eat halfway through the race, you need to make sure you're prepared. What I recommend is going for a breakfast that's around 400 or 500 calories. So you don't want to overeat. You can undereat, I guess, but you also don't want to put so much in there that your body, there's no way to process it. And hopefully in your training, you've been kind of working with this too. Most of my workouts personally are kind of fat. I get up fasted and just go to a workout. There's some times where I eat breakfast first with the family, and then I do a workout afterwards real quick before starting the day. So there are opportunities that you can go eat breakfast and then go do a workout later and time it so you're kind of used to having food in your stomach and kind of working around that and let your body process it. So make sure you practice on that. Always go with simple carbs. You want something easily digestible. So like toast, I do overnight oats, you know, old-fashioned oats, stuff like that. It's a little less simple, but something either that you've worked with and used for a long time and you know that works for you, or something simple that your body can process and get through. There are plenty of examples out there. If you want any examples, you can always send me an email. I can send you kind of a list of what I found out there. You know, eggs, bagels, toast, anything like that. You know, even a little bit of peanut butter, or something like that. So something kind of a little bit calorically dense and whole foods if possible. You know, don't go out for steak and eggs and have the whole, you know, greasy bacon and stuff like that. You got to avoid that, and you want to avoid fiber because, as we all know, race morning, your anxiety, your stress is already up anyway, and anticipation of the race day, and you're going to spend some time in the porta potties anyway. So if you add fiber to the mixture, or if you add too much like caffeine, if you do coffee in the morning, which is fine, but don't go overboard. Just be prepared that that's going to add to the anxieties and the GI issues that come with that. So you're going to spend maybe a little bit more time in the porta potty than playing on. So don't be that person that the race is starting in the porta potty. So what I recommend is eating 2 hours before the race. So that gives you a decent window for your body to actually kind of let it go in there and start processing it. So you don't want it just sitting in your gut. You don't want to eat breakfast 30 minutes before the race starts. If you can get 3 hours, that's good. But if a race starts at 7 and you're having to eat at 4 o'clock in the morning, I find that it's just not feasible. It just doesn't sit well with me. My stomach doesn't like to eat that early in the morning. There are some mornings I wake up that hungry that early, but typically that 2 hour, once you get past that window, that's a little bit too late. But once you get before that, you can still work with it. But 2 hours is what I kind of shoot for. But 30 minutes before the start, and I always tell athletes, have something with you. Have a sports gel, have chomps, chews, whatever you're going to do. Base bars, half a base bar, whatever. Shoot for around 100 calories. So about 30 minutes before the race starts, you have something to kind of digest that's readily in your system, so you can start working on it during the swim. but you don't want to be too much because you are parallel doing the swim. So when you're in that position, your body doesn't function as it normally would. So it's going to be a little bit hard for that food to be digested. But you want a little bit of something because it will work on something if it's in there for the swim. Especially if you're doing a full Ironman swim, you're going to swim that far, or a half Ironman swim even. You know, you're going to spend 30, 45, maybe an hour out there. So you just need to be cognizant that have something in there while you're doing that swim. So when you come out, you're not totally at a deficit. But like I said, don't overeat, especially breakfast, especially right before the swim, and don't eat in between, but do it with water. Or if you have a sports drink, I always recommend athletes bring, you know, Gatorade Endurance is great because it's on the course, and personally I like it because it's got plenty of electrolytes in it, helps get you ready for the race, keeps you hydrated, and adding fluids into your stomach with food helps you digest and process that food quicker and better. So if you're taking all this and you're not really drinking too much, or if you just drink coffee, you're going to be in a problem later on. It may not process as easily. Maybe kind of stuck in your gut because it won't process. So make sure you're drinking with plenty of water. Don't overdo the water. Like I said, I would take like few little sips every 5-10 minutes. I personally take a 24-ounce thing of Gatorade Endurance and start with breakfast. And I'm just sipping it. My goal is to be done right before the swim. And if I have to pee in my wetsuit on the swim, hey, that's what's going to happen out there. Sorry for anybody that's behind me and I have to do that. But I would rather pee on the swim than come out of the water and be in dehydrated state already. My personal recommendation and what I use is overnight oats. So I make it all before it's cold. I put it in the fridge. I used to do oatmeal, but it took too much prep time. It was just another thing that you had to set up and worry about in the morning and put everything together, cook it up and stir it up and then try to eat it. And it's not very portable. It's not very convenient. What I found with overnight oats, it's quick to prepare the night before. There's no prep race morning. Basically, you just grab it out of the fridge in the bottle, and it's already ready. Just shake it up and mix it up a little bit, and you're ready to go. It's portable. That's what I love because you're always up before. You could be up 3 to 4 hours before a race starts, getting all your stuff ready and packing up and getting ready to drive to the event. But you don't want to eat necessarily at that point because you may not be ready to eat that early. But it's nice. It's portable. You take it with you. Get to the race event, get all settled, check your bike in, do whatever, and then you can eat your breakfast. And it's convenient, you're not stressed out, you're already there, everything's already set up, and you just drink it right there at the race start, and you just shove the bottle back in your bag and you're ready to go. Personally, that's my go-to. I do add a little bit more old-fashioned oats in there than I normally would, just for a little bit of something, especially if it's a longer event like a half Ironman. But it's super convenient, and if you're staying in a hotel, if you're traveling, most hotels have a little mini fridge, so it's not a problem. You know, just go to the grocery store, get anything cold that you need if you're traveling. Personally, I use some almond milk, old-fashioned oats, protein powder. I use chia seeds for a little bit of texture to it, and I put a little bit of peanut butter powder in there. So I'll post the recipe of what I use personally, and I'll have links to different products and stuff that I use. But that's kind of my go-to and what I use most mornings anyway. So if I'm fasted, that'll be what I use post-workout, so I can drink it as I'm getting ready for the day. It's really convenient. You don't have to spend any time getting ready. You don't have to sit at the table. I know a lot of people say sit at the table to have meals, but I'd rather see somebody use this than just skip breakfast altogether because they don't have time. It's also convenient if I'm doing my workout later. I could drink it really quick and then be ready for my workout later. So that's what I've really pushed the overnight oats. Like I said, it's super quick, super convenient, super portable. I've actually kind of grown to create it. If I don't have it for breakfast, I'm kind of feel like I'm missing out a little bit. But that's my key ideas and thoughts and recommendations for race morning nutrition. Again, I'm not a registered dietitian, so I can't give you exactly, the breakdown of the macronutrients and macros and everything. But this is kind of the general guidelines of what I shoot for. 400 to 500 calories. Like I said, you don't want to feel too bloated. You want to make sure you get the right amount in, the right timing, and the right timing of just before the start. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. And here's an option for you guys if this is something you're looking to do, especially earlier in the season. You got an opportunity to kind of play with it and try different things, especially in training. See what works better for you. If you've got a concoction you make up and you find that it kind of gives you GI distress when you're on a run, it may not be the best option for you. But if you practice and find some stuff that has the right mixture for you, gives you energy, and doesn't cause you GI issues, that's the best way to go. So again, with always, with any of my presentations, if you have any questions, email me, comment on it. I'll always get back to you and help you out with any question you have. Thanks for watching.